I don't see us live. Oh, there we go. Yep, yep. Oh, I'm seeing your screen now. Yes, I can hear us talking. Zoom. Now it's a blank screen, but just audio. Yeah, they can.
But I'm perfectly relaxed.
Okay. So it is. People can hear our voices right now. Yeah, that's fine. Good. And then Instagram is not connecting. So I might have did something wrong on that. He's the best. Share this. I'm good. I don't see any video. Fognado. What's up? What's up?
That's a great name.
Right? Fognado Man. Which is good to know, because see if we want to keep with it or not. I know you guys already voted OBS, but...
what's going on, guys? How are we doing tonight? Today we are being. Oh, goodness. It came back. Today we have Dr. Testa with us, and
Whoop.
we're going to have some. We're going to play some Wingspan and talk about some HD and all she does. Dr. Testa, before we get started, would you like to introduce yourself and everything that you do?
um, off the clock. So Claudia, I first was introduced to Huntington disease as a concept in about 1990, 1991, when I joined Ann Young and Jack Penny's lab. So ever since then, I've been involved to some degree in clinical care, in research, bench research, all the way through clinical trials. And really, I think the main thing I do is learn, whether that's from learning from actual card-carrying geneticists, as opposed to me, I just play one at work, or from patients and families, where I just did a tremendous amount of rapid learning, learning from day one on the job. I relocated to North Carolina. Oh my God, 3 years ago, full time now, almost. And have been really enjoying getting to know the HD patient family research and clinical care community here, and connecting that with many people that I've seen around at meetings and through work for many years prior to this.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. How long did it take you to get from or where you started to now? How long has your journey been?
I knew I wanted to be a scientist forever, and then I just kept switching up what kind of scientist. And I fell in with really amazing biophysics lab, which is where all the neuroscience is being done at my home college when I was an undergrad. And I ended up really getting fascinated with the brain through systems engineering and programming. And my dad had taught me we called it programming at the time, and I'm that old, just slightly after punch cards. And I ended up kind of going sideways into an MD PhD program because it just seemed like the right thing to do if you're really serious about learning about the brain and doing this kind of science. So that was in the late 80s. I graduated from college 86. So then a year in scholarship in England, and then 8 years of MD PhD, and then 4 years of residency, and then 2 years of fellowship, and then time just kept going.
That Europe must have been a load of fun. Well,
Which one?
You said you did a year in Europe, right?
Yeah, I had never traveled outside of the country. It was just really not in my extended family's, kind of bandwidth, although my grandparents emigrated from Italy. They were very poor at the time. And so I just thought, this is it. If I get the scholarship, I could go live in England for a year. I thought I was super fancy going to another English-speaking country. And it was terrific. I was just like, why am I doing this dumb, 8-year program when now I want to travel the world?
Fun fact on my side, my family also came from Italy. My
Oh,
grandfather
cool.
was the first one who came over.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Dr. Testa, are you ready to play some
you might know this already. There we go. You might know this already. So Testa means head in Italian.
Mm-hmm. So you
And my first name, yep, so there you go. And not only that, but my first name Claudia is from the Greek Claudius, or the Greek Emperor Claudius, which is translated from Greek as lame or the lame one, and thus my full name means lame head.
uh my so my last name is Ricco, which meaning rich, or if you're going from
Mhm.
the Greek translation for Ricke, which is uh ruler or leader. So it
Okay.
and then my first name Drake, which is a French a French spelling of the Latin Drake. So
Uh-huh.
my full name, middle name included, is Dragon of Foods and Riches.
That's pretty outstanding, I have to say.
Well, I
I
had
think
a
next time
English
we do
teacher
this, we're
for a
gonna have to
mother.
play worm span.
Oh yes. All right. Are we ready for some Wingspan? I
I hope
absolutely
so.
love this game. Has anyone in chat played Wingspan before? I could see Chaotic playing it. All right. Let's see. Get a
So
chat.
I want to tell you that uh my family has an old friend, guy my husband has known since early college, who's super into board games and gaming and goes to gaming conventions to kind of like preview stuff. And he got us an early preview version of Wingspan years ago, and it was just fantastic. So all right. So let's see. It looks like I get to look at my. How does this work? I've not used this platform before, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Let's see.
So usually there's two bonus cards, and I get to figure out which one I want to keep.
Yeah, so if you scroll down, you'll be able to see your birds
Yep,
that you
there we
have.
are,
Yep,
down at the bottom.
yep. And
Uh,
the little option at the top will guide you through what actions you have to take.
So let's see. Those are my 5 birds, and then falconer. Whereas, oh, both of my bonus things are quite nice. Bird, one per bird. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I want to keep this one. So if I click on something, is that the thing I keep? Let's find out if that worked. Or do I have to, so do I have to drag the card somewhere, or do I just click on the one I want to keep?
So you click on the ones you want to keep.
Okay. And then let's see. Oh, the turkey vulture. I've had trouble with that bird before. I think I'm gonna keep this one and this one and oh, the magpie's so nice. No, I already have 2 very expensive birds. Once between turns.
Chaotic. If you stop by the house, we can play tons of board games. My favorite board game is Scrabble.
Scrabble!
Scrabble is the best.
The question is, do I have enough food to keep all these darn birds? You just got one from your hand. All right. I'm keeping 4 of the birds because I just can't let them go. They're already in my possession.
I am definitely playing an interesting hand.
All right, and then I'm trying to click on the one that I want of the 2. I did. I selected 4 bird cards. It doesn't believe me. Okay, I think I selected 4 bird cards. Do I have to do something more to select them?
So if you look at the top bar, it'll guide you on what to do next.
To choose up to 5 bird cards. Yes, I think that's what I did.
So
Maybe I didn't.
then you have
I
to.
clicked on 4 of the bird cards.
Yep. You'll click on that option of saying, I'm going to do this action. Then you'll
Keep
have to.
4.
Yep. And then you have to.
Oh, and then I have to get rid of 4 of my foodies because I'm keeping 4 birds. Now it's coming together.
So chat is wondering, what is the goal of Wingspan?
The great thing about Wingspan is that the overarching goal is to like have kind of build this empire of birds where you have all these different birds and all these different habitats, and then you start filling their nests with eggs. But if you're very point oriented, part of the reason why I find this fun is because there's just way too many almost different ways to get points. So you can get points off of if you have a bird that you've gotten onto the board. It shows a feather count. So I kept a bird that has 9 feathers, and then then you get points for eggs, and then you get points for all kinds of other things. So the ultimate way to win it, if that's what you're into, is to have the most points at the end of the rounds. Or you can just like have fun birds. That's also a potential goal.
One of my favorite things about Wingspan is the fact that it can be a single player game too.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, you can do it either way. They've set it up really nicely for that.
Oh yeah, it's that's always one of the hard things about playing, having things that you need other people to play with.
Yeah.
Because what are you supposed to do if you don't have enough people to play Scrabble? Just sit there and build words. I do, but other or better reflection, chess. I grew up playing chess with my dad.
Oh yeah.
All
This is
right.
definitely an easier setup for the single player compared to like um Scrabble or Words with Friends. Although I do have a friend who got so addicted to Scrabble and Words with Friends that one time she was visiting me and she had like 5 Words with Friends games running at the same time, and it took her like 2 days to figure out that one of the games she was playing herself.
Oh, good night. So, right now
Okay,
you do get to start, so you can play your bird, gain food, lay eggs, or draw bird cards.
so I do not have enough food to to get a bird onto the board. So I think I just want more. Oh no, that's not right. This is a slash. Oh my God, I'm gonna need prescription glasses. So Piebald Green. I'm gonna put my Piebald Green onto the board. Play a bird.
So, cool thing, Chaotic. I actually have a Lord of the Rings chess set. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. Um, Dr. Tessa, I don't know if you remember, we had talked about, at Education Day, I play Magic the Gathering, and I actually have a Samwise Gamgee deck. Oh, look at that. Yes.
That's funny.
I named it potatoes because you can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Nice. Okay, I did it. I played my birds. So that means there was a space on the correct habitat and can only be played in the wetland. And I had one food item left, and it was the kind of food item that this bird likes. That means next round I'm not going to be able to play a bird because I got to get some food.
So we're going to play this, and we're going to put it right here. The red-breasted newthatch.
Ooh, nice. You're going to get the food
And
rolling.
what's really cool about this is that so for people who are watching, but the bottom of all the cards in the game will have little texts on the bottom talking about them. So these birds put resin around their nests, opening to keep out attackers. Which I think that's one of my favorite things is that they did a really good job theming this. So, Dr. Testa, as you're taking your turn, if you want to think about this question, HD is often described as a cruel mix of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and ALS. Do you think that is fair, or would you describe it differently?
I would describe it differently. The I think it's like it's like its own thing with some Parkinson disease stuff layered on top of it. The cognitive change is really scary and progressive and a big problem, but the pattern and the things that really get in people's way is a lot different from classic Alzheimer's disease. Um, and then I think sometimes, especially when people do have a lot of extra movements, it's hard to kind of visually see the level of slowness or other motor changes underneath that. So that's what I mean by kind of just like Parkinson's disease with more stuff layered onto it. And my grandmother actually passed away from motor neuron disease. And it was all the weakness and muscle wasting as those motor neurons connecting to the muscles let go. So ALS is also a neurodegenerative disorder. All those things that you name, including Huntington's disease, are all neurodegenerative disorders. So that means we're all losing brain cells every day. But in neurodegenerative disorders, some people seem to lose some of those brain cells faster than we would expect for regular aging. And thankfully, losing those motor neurons is not a big thing in Huntington's disease.
That is really interesting. I didn't know about the motor neurons.
Yeah, so Huntington's disease and Parkinson's disease really get into central control of movement, but not those motor neurons that do the movement and connect ultimately directly to the muscles.
That's really interesting.
Okay, so here I've been gabbing, but what I should do is gain some food. So gain food. And then what's in our food bin here? So I know I'm gonna need basically anything for one of them and fish and this. Okay, so I'm gonna get myself that little worm. Yeah, confirm, because three of my three birds could eat that worm. All right, confirm.
is eggs in. Oh, I definitely did not have any birds that is even going to fit in that round one slot. Let's see. What do I want to do next? I think the better question is, what food do I have? I think this would be. Uh, you know what I completely forgot about?
Mm.
Is you have to have a number of eggs to lay on a tile.
Oh, yeah. Well, getting it, I mean, yeah, exactly. So let's see. Where's your little bird? You're a little bird. You can lay 3 eggs on this bird.
Oh yeah, no, I completely forgot about the egg costs in this game. It's been a minute since I've played.
Oh, yeah. No, I usually get trounced because I want like all the birds and then I run out of food and then I'm like in the hole for a while.
Alrighty, it is now your turn.
Okay, fantastic. So let's see. My 3 birds. I want to get on there.
You know what, Erica? I think we can just have a game over HD chess tournament.
All right, and this goes. Ugh. I'm just gonna have to gain more food. I need more options. So let's see. And I need. This one needs.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god, I need so many foods. Okay, I'm gonna get a fish farm. Okay, I'm approaching being able to put another bird in play here.
Woo woo.
All right, good with my food. This is the problem with playing this late on Friday after a busy week is that my kid's always thinking like 3 moves ahead, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do now?
I picked up a free bird on my first in my opening hand.
Ooh. Oh, because it's a vulture.
Yep.
Duh. You don't have to get any vulture food because vultures defeat carrion. Yay. But now I see what you're doing. So now the next time you want to get food, you get 2 pieces of food instead of just 1 piece of food.
Yep.
Smart. And per usual, stacked myself away from that. So I basically, let's just do something different because I can. Just for fun. Do I want to lay eggs or do I want to wait? No, I think I just need more freaking food. So
technically,
what's in?
no, we're not supposed to know each other's cards, but we're
We usually play it
also
with cards open at home.
yeah. When we played at my house, we weren't overly secretive about what we have. This isn't like a hyper competitive game like Magic.
One rodent. Arrgh. Where the bird? I could draw a bird. Let's see. Maybe place in the forest. Oh yeah, I want the barred owl. I'm gonna draw a bird card. I like those owls. Make me some owls. Both of ooh, the spotted owl is also really good. Oh, this is a problem now. So the spotted owl is nice because you can get 2 new bonus cards and you keep an extra bonus card. And that's going to help you the whole game. The barred owl, when activated, so that means then anytime, once I get it on the board, which could take me a while because there's no fish in here and I gave him my fish, which is like an idiot. So the barred owl, I like it better. Okay, I'm going to go with the barred owl. Barred owl. I'm not going to draw from the deck. I'm just going to grab that barred owl. Okay. So, and then the pie-billed grebe has been activated. So the pie-billed grebe is in the draw bird cards row for me.
Yep.
And if you look underneath it in the brown, it says when activated. So I drew a bird card. I can draw 2 from the deck and then discard 1 at the end of the hand. So yeah, I could just get myself that adorable spotted owl because I already know I love it. And then I can and then I think we'll draw from the deck just because that would be fun. And then draw from deck. Oh, what happened? What happened? What's happening? Draw some tray or from the deck. Draw from deck. There we go. It just wasn't firm enough.
All right.
Ooh, here's
You
this.
gotta discard
Hermit
1
thrush. So this is bad because there's a hermit thrush that lives near us, and there's also a whole family of barred owls. So
Oh goodness.
I don't know what to do now. I think I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the hermit thrush because I already have all these birds that need like 3 pieces of food, and that's no good. So let me look up here. Select, discard, selected. Alrighty.
Ooh, what? Ooh, the
Fantastic.
snowy egret.
Oh, that's a nice one.
It is, especially with its activated.
Exactly. And then you can just get more food. Anything that gives you something so that you can do more than one thing a turn, that's the bonus.
We only have 4 actions left in this round.
Oh my god. All right. What did you do? Did I miss that because I was eating?
Oh, I drew the snowy egret.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, now the Anhinga is up there. That's also quite nice.
So, fun fact, in the 1880s, these birds' wispy plumes were literally worth their weight in gold.
I'm gonna lay eggs because I can. So, I get 2 eggs and I only have this here bird.
So,
So
an egg a day keeps the doctor to stay.
I'm super lucky my next door neighbors have lovely chickens, so I get fresh eggs.
Ooh, let's see. I think the smart move would just be to play my snowy egret.
You have lots of food, and low food cost birds. But yeah, now you're gonna get more food every time you do.
Yes, and I can lay some eggs so I can get some points for round 1.
Yep. Hmm. Oh, I totally spaced out and forgot to look at that. What's our round 1 thing?
It has to be
Eggs
eggs
in
laid on the
platform nest.
yes.
All right. So, and I have what? 2 more turns this round?
I believe yes, we have 3 more actions left.
Oh, I'm so hurting in the food realm. Remind me, Ricco, do we get to re-roll the food thing in between rounds?
Yes, the food tower does get, or the bird feeder gets re-rolled in between
Bird feeder
rounds.
gets re-rolled. And let's see, in grassland or forest.
So this is definitely a slower game.
Yep.
It's not.
Especially if you're playing with me, because I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm just gonna lay more eggs now because I have a platform nest.
Yes, but this game isn't. It is meant for casual enjoyment and educational preferences. You get to learn more
Oh, nice.
about birds and find their pretty pictures.
It gave me eggs of different colors. That was exciting.
I know when you play the actual game, you only get one color of egg.
No, mine has 3 egg colors.
Oh, I'm talking about when you play the actual board game.
That's what I mean. My actual board game has 3 egg colors.
Oh.
Do.
Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and lay some eggs. So, Chris, this is Wingspan. We are building our birdhouses.
Yep.
With different birds from around the world.
Oh, I gotta get somebody in the.
What's up, Frog?
I gotta get somebody in the grassland territory. Otherwise, I'm gonna be just super hurting here.
Oh, wait. No, I see what I need to do. I almost made a mistake. There we go. What's up, Patty? Everyone's coming in to hang out. It's nice to see you guys. So, Dr. Testa, our our next question, I wanted to talk a little bit about the progression of HD.
Okay.
What are there any factors that can influence the rate of disease progression, and do any lifestyle modifications help improve the quality of life?
So, I think it's just been really striking with, how much better people do now if we're able to bring them into care and the kind of care that works for them and is kind of centered around their preferred method of thinking compared to just like, there's nothing to do, so don't worry about it. All brains, actually have a little stock phrase for plans in my notes. Say, all brains like the same things, but some brains like them more than others. So, oh, do I get to yak and play bird at the same time? I'm going to do that. And then confirm food cost. It should let me do it. Okay, so I'm going to play my Bard Owl because I really want somebody up in the trees up there. I got to get somebody in that row, and I don't have a rat. But you can use 2 pieces of any food to then pay the food cost for something you don't have. And there are no rats in the food bin, so I'm getting impatient. I'm just going to do it. Yay! And now every time I get food, I might be able to kill myself a small bird, which is going to be exciting. So I think the stuff that we have the hardest data on in neurodegenerative disorders overall, not necessarily specifically in Huntington's disease, is exercise, just moving. And I don't mean like triathlons, but just doing a range of exercise, stretching, flexibility, strength, balance, and a little cardio. But, you know, the small things count: gardening, walking. I also think of it in terms of the data we have from blue zones. I don't know if people know this concept. But aging researchers went out around the world looking for communities where it seemed like a lot of people were aging in a healthy, sustainable way, where we're still doing well cognitively and moving about even into relatively old age. And then look for common themes between those communities. So one common theme was that animal protein meats were a smaller percentage of the diet, like they were used more like flavorings. It wasn't like they were half the plate for a given meal. Although only one of the communities, the one in Loma Linda, California, is actually trends more toward vegetarian. A tradition of less alcohol, so not necessarily no alcohol, but definitely less. And a lot of movement across the day, just, walking to the store instead of driving to the store, moving about, and community. So things like we're doing today, or I'm doing badly, attempting to play Wingspan online. So engaging with activities in community. So I think about exercise. I think about whole foods. Now there's a lot more data on processed food versus not processed foods, fresh foods versus less fresh. I still do eat meat, but I know my sources. And I try to move. I'm still drinking alcohol periodically, but I flirt with just walking away from it because brains are just not that awesome with it. And then sleep. Really amazing research. Actually, this woman figured this out in the 80s, and then people didn't believe her, and then it went dormant, and then was revived in the early 2000s. Sleep is when the brain clears out all the normal wear and tear and breakdown products of the day. It's the brain's kind of pit stop for the day. There are no lymph nodes or lymphatics. Lymphatics are one of the ways that the whole body clears out that normal wear and tear, but there's none of that in the brain. The brain uses sleep to process things out. So it's this amazing insight to why do we crave sleep? Why do we really need sleep? And why do our brains really like sleep?
See, I'm just waiting
All right,
for Erica to get in the chat and to say I told you so, because I have the hardest time going to sleep. And
Yeah.
I'll sleep for like 3 to 5 hours at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Yeah, and that can be complicated. There's so many things that impact our sleep. So the sleep neurology people have taught me, like, the first pass, they call it sleep hygiene. There's lots of actionable things people can do, like attempting to have a relatively stable bedtime. I know our culture isn't that into that. Staying away from fun screens like the one I'm looking at right now. for at least an hour before bed. I like chamomile tea, stuff like that that seems to calm brains down. Avoiding caffeine after noon or at least early afternoon. Alcohol really disrupts sleep. It makes you sleepy, but then it disrupts sleep on the back end.
Huh.
Yeah, it makes you sleepy at first, but then you don't consolidate sleep as well.
So
Uh,
I don't know,
yep.
Dr.
There's
Testa,
lots
I
of
don't
things.
know
There's
if you
just
can
lots of
see the
components.
chat, but the chat is now talking about how alcohol should be fine then, and then everyone is brain fried.
Sweet. Okay, so I decided so you get to re-roll the food if there's only one type of food left and you're out of choices. So I decided to gain food. So that's my top row here. And I get one piece of food. I could get two pieces of food if I was willing to let go of one of my birds, but I have a lot of trouble with that. I have a bird. I really struggle with getting rid of one, but maybe I'll
You know,
do it. I think
Chris, you
I'm
bring up an
gonna
interesting
do it.
point with it causing sleep loss just because of the kind of job you have. So Chris works for a factory where
Mm-hmm.
he leaves for work at 2 o'clock and doesn't get
Oof.
home until 2 or 3 in the morning. So
That's
there
painful.
and so there's such a disruptive sleep due to our society having jobs that require between 10 and 12 hour shifts alongside you know not being able to offer consistent sleep times or even long enough sleep times at that point to then also be a what society would be considered a normal functioning adult.
Yeah. I mean, shift work is real. Pretty much the only way to, attempt um uh to attempt making it as good as possible is if you can keep a stable shift over a chunk of time. But I mean, we even do it to ourselves. In my profession, if we're staff in the hospital, then the attendings are on call 24 hours. So I think that there's a lot of things built into our society and different forms of work that don't really intersect with what we know for our health. Daylight savings time is terrible for brains and really disruptive for sleep, especially at changeover points.
So
Um,
would we be able to combat that then if we let's say during the fall when you go back an hour you uh,
so regular time, yeah. So um, changing by that hour, falling back or springing forward, is not great for brains and takes a while for people to get used to any kind of um,
is it
change like that. If you're traveling to another time zone, whatever it is, and then also the quote unquote daylight savings time, which is not as close to actual sunrise sunset, is really harder on brains than regular time
what's
because your
funny
brains and eyeballs are looking at the cues in the environment, and a lot of cues that might not be conscious in terms of, is it time to be sleeping? Is it time to be awake?
so I moved to North Carolina 5-6 years ago and but every time go back to Illinois to visit I get better sleep I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Are they one of the 3 or 4 states that don't do the whole back and forth thing?
No, 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 no. They still do the back and forth thing, but they're in the central time zone rather than eastern.
Mm-hmm. And they might be in a different part of the time zone, so not like really close to the edges.
It's not.
Okay,
It's
ooh.
like smack dab in the middle. Oh yeah, you still
Yeah.
need to hunt.
So I get to do, so I did all my food and I got rid of a bird card. So I got 2 pieces of food instead of 1 piece of food.
Mm-hmm.
And now my barred owl says like when activated, so I can draw a card and I can see if it's going to be a small enough bird. Yes!
Nice.
For my
So
barred owl to eat.
and
And now
since
that's
you
going to be an extra point
succeeded,
for me at the end.
since you succeeded, I get to gain a food from the dice.
Is that what which one is it, which one of your
My
cards does
black vulture. Whenever you
your
succeed,
black altar once between turns? Yep. So when you score, then you get a card. Yeah.
So this is our last action in round. Let's see. Why don't we? I'm gonna gain both these fish. Ooh, definitely some nice additives. And I believe that gets us all to our stuff. So you definitely took first place with in our first
Bonus.
round. So you'll be getting 4.
Exactly. You put all 4 eggs on that puppy.
Oh, I forgot that you have to discard the birds. Oh.
What? Wait, what?
It discards all the birds in the tray when you start a new round.
Yes. And then it's a new round. That can be sad.
But I do think I'm going to draw the
Ooh,
Cooper's Hawk.
there's a Cooper's Hawk. Ooh. Yeah, that's a nice bird. Ooh, that's an interesting flycatcher.
So this round, the total number of birds will win is going to win the round.
Well, it's going to get more points that round. Yeah. Total number of birds on the board, right?
Yes.
So
We're going to draw a
okay.
bird, and then I can discard an egg
To get an extra bird.
Yes. I'm going to draw from the deck this time.
Just for fun.
I got the Canada Goose.
Ooh. It's a nice big bird. Okay, cool. And who do you get replaced with? Mountain bluebird. Very nice. In the west of the U.S. See them in the mountains in the national parks out there. Some of these birds are old friends. All right, I am going to play a bird because I got myself those rodents.
Dr. Testa, they're making jokes about you killing birds.
So exciting.
That you're not always saving lives.
Nope. Hey, I still eat meat. Meat is murder, tasty, tasty murder. Eventually, I'll stop that.
You
Confirm.
know, I did a grill out for my birthday, and I did Bloody Mary barbecue chicken.
Oof. Spotted owl. So, one of the reasons that I wanted the spotted owl, in addition to the fact that now the next time I get food, I can get 2 pieces of food, is now I get to draw 2 new bonus cards and then see which ones I want to keep. Birds that eat rodents. Okay, that's nice. And anatomist. Now, I mean, that's very
course, you already
tempting.
have 2 owls, so you're
Ready to 2 owls. So I'm doing good with the rodentologist. And then let's look at this other one. Ooh, 4 plus birds, 7 feathers. Very. The question is, don't have body parts. I have things like spotted and barred. Billed, I have one of those. And then, yeah, black crowned. No, I have a lot of color. I think I'm going to keep my rodentologist one. That seems more likely. Ta-da. All right. Confirm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and gain some more food.
What's in that food bin? Let's see. So you got your food, and now I'm looking at what I've like left here. This and should fit.
Oh, nice, Chaotic. Chaotic came in with the dad joke. And
Oh
said
yeah, look at that.
you said that you are just showing the who's best with owls.
Oh no! I
So
have
for
to
those
say, the
of you,
barred owl family that lives in the woods around my house, they can get like loud. They're hooting all over the place. They're pecking. They're talking. And when my kid was a baby, before he was making words, um, I don't know why, but we had like owl sounds. We're the kind of people that have like bird sounds as part of our um, dreaming mix because that's what you do when you're into birds. And we taught her how to make barred owl sounds. It was like this great party trick. You could just like plop her in front of somebody, this little baby, and go woohoo, and she would go hoo 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 hoo. Perfect,
oh,
perfect
that's
barred owl
cute.
call. All right, you get to confirm or undo. Let's see.
So those of you who are just
Wait, you have to
jumping in,
confirm,
if
I
you
think.
missed what's happening, is May is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month, and all month
Yay.
we are going to have different interviewees who are going to join and talk about Huntington's and its different facets and how they are a part of or contribute to the HD community. Tonight we have Dr. Testa with us. So, Dr. Testa, I actually want to ask you another question while you're moving along with your turn.
Okay, I
Have you
can't do my
ever?
turn yet because you have to confirm your turn.
I've
Yes.
confirmed my turn.
Okay, fine. Well,
That's. Oh, it's stuck on the loading. Oh no. Oh
no.
no.
Because I know what I want to do. I'm going to get food and I know exactly which 2 food things I want.
I
No.
let me see if I can't refresh and if it'll fix it. There we go.
Yay! Okay, game food.
I had to refresh the page.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. Tessa, have you seen any superhero moments with patients or families while doing something incredible in the face of HD?
Oh my gosh. So many possibilities. Oh wait, hang on. I got to kill another bird.
Oh no, Moida.
Um,
And I'm going to re-roll and see if we can't get some other stuff. Ooh.
other stuff out of the food bin. Oh, that's tempting. So, wow. I think you just, I meet people who are just putting in so much energy, but it's just kind of like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. Like I chose to do this. And in the last 6 months, I met two different young men, one of them very young. He's in the army, and the other, I guess late 30s. And they have both just decided, my parent is not doing well where they are. And I'm just gonna move them from another state in with me into my living situation, and then we're gonna deal with it. And then we're gonna go forward from there. And we're just gonna figure it out. It's such an enormous commitment, in watching people do that with grace, or people who are just like, I can't do that, but this is what I'm going to do. Just taking on things that weren't in the roadmap of their life that they had kind of thought about. Like, okay, I guess I'm going to be traveling back to a family member once a month because I can't move them in with me, and that's just not what I can do. Just taking on things. Just figuring out, what's within their capacity, and then doing it, but doing it with all of this grace and openness, and finding the joy in it. In particular, I think people who kind of come into families and are like, okay, fine. I took care of when I was back in Atlanta, I took care of a very young guy with juvenile onset Huntington's disease. And by the time I met him, he was in a motorized wheelchair, and mainly using a peg tube for feedings, but he would eat his Cheetos and Mountain Dew, and vomit, hurl them up from his dysphagia. But that's what he wanted. He wanted his pleasure foods. And his stepfather had married in, adopted him, and then was really into motorcycles, and got his whole Harley club to make a fundraiser for Huntington's disease. And they made a sidecar for my patient so that they could attach him to any of the bikes and he could ride with the club.
That is so cool.
So amazing. And I'm like, this guy, he didn't, he came in, I don't think anyone can really wrap their heads around what they're about to get into, but he was just like, nope, these are my people now. And I'm just gonna sign up for whatever this ride is, and I'm gonna get my friends and my people all really engaged with this.
So
That was amazing.
one of the questions in chat is, what is juvenile onset Huntington's?
Yeah, so hang on, I want some food. I'm gonna get even more food because I need more food. Okay, I'm gonna get, what am I missing? Do I have a rodent? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna gain food. And I warned Erica that this would be bad because I'm like absurdly competitive, so it's very difficult for me to like parallel process when my
Well, if you'd like to take your turn first, and
Here it
then
is.
while I do
Okay.
mine.
I'm almost done with my turn because I think I get to draw another card. Dun dun dun. Nope,
Oh.
that bird was way too big. That bird kicked my bird owl's ass, and the bird owl flew away.
So I'm going to go ahead and play the Canada Goose.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's right. This is the bird from the board round. Yeah. Okay, what was I failing to answer when I got too wrapped up in what food I wanted?
What is
Juvenile
onset Huntington's?
Yeah, so Huntington's disease is Huntington's disease, and people can develop symptoms really at any age. I have my personal current record for age at diagnosis is I think 81 now. And I take care of a couple people in their late 70s and early 80s right now with Huntington's disease. But I have also met people as young as 3 and 4 years old with the Huntington disease clinical diagnosis. And juvenile onset just recognizes that, especially for very young kids, like kids that are 12 and less or 10 and less, when they've developed significant symptoms, the types of symptoms may be a little different from what adults are experiencing. And they might be more likely to develop problems like seizures that most people who start with symptoms in adulthood just simply don't experience or don't have as part of the things that we're tracking with their Huntington disease. So there isn't really a firm age cutoff, but it's just a way of acknowledging that in young people, especially in really young people, how Huntington's disease shows up might be different, and how we therefore think about the best care and family-centered care might be different.
So one
All
of the
right, I gotta get
questions
another.
we also have is there a big need for skilled nursing homes specifically for Huntington's patients?
So, firm food cost. Yes, I'm gonna burn all my food on this bird.
Ooh.
Big burn on there. 9 feather points. Now I'm out of food
I
again.
think I am going to get some birds.
Oh yeah, because you can't put more birds on the board without hitting them. I don't like these birds though.
I think we're going to draw from deck for our next. Ooh, the Foster's Turn.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, with the Canada Goose, I am going to discard 1 to steal 2 from the library. And now, since there's 3 dice not in the feeder, I get to roll them. And since there is a fish, I get to tuck a fish. So I've got to tuck 2 cards and 1 fish.
That's a lot. You got a lot out of that round. I think I'm stuck. I think if I wanted to get more food, I'm stuck with what's in the feeder because there's 2 different things. I don't want a grain though. Icky. I haven't forgotten about the nursing homes. Let's see.
So serious reading of the question, then bird poop, egg murder, followed by thoughtful response. I love how
Yeah,
it's
that's about right. That's about how this works. That's pretty correct.
bird poop, egg murder. That can just be the title from now on.
1 seed and 1 fruit, and
Oh no,
ooh,
Chris is
and
doing investigations.
uh-oh, I don't like investigations. I think what do we do? Oh, I have 5 turns. Why am I dorking around? I'm gonna draw some bird cards for the heck of it. Just because I can. So while the grosbeak is very tempting, that's a nice bird. I think instead I'm gonna just draw from the deck. Draw from the
Oh, we
deck.
only
Just for
have
the heck of it.
2 actions left.
Gambling. And then did my gamble pay off? Not really. No rodent eaters. And nobody with and eat other birds' power. Although the trumpeter swan is a pretty nice bird. And then black-crowned night heron. I may discard an egg to gain food. So
And then
doing
you
this
can
action
nice.
is allowed, and then choose food type.
Rodent eater. Yes, these birds are hardcore, and we play hardcore bird gaming. You know, they have Goat Simulator. I've seen Police Officer Simulator. I've seen I Am Bread, the simulation of being a slice of bread. There's got to be a bird simulator out there.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
I want to simulate being a bald eagle. I've already got the bald part down, so now I just need the eagle.
Oh wait, I could choose any. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't think I can undo that. That was dumb. Oh, now I'm aggravated. Oh well, these things happen. Okay, and then Paimogriva may draw 2 and discard 1 at the end of the turn. I'm going to draw them off in the deck again, just to see what will happen. Ooh, another owl. But it's a burrowing owl. Okay, but discard selected. Boom. All right. So
Crime scene.
I think I need so much food now. It's ridiculous.
Erica says I'm a bald bearded eagle.
Nice. So I think the answer to is there a need for nursing a home specific for Huntington's disease care? In my mind, is kind of yes and. So I do a lot of work in Huntington's disease care and diagnosis, but I also do a lot of work in general neurogenetics diagnosis and care. And there are a lot of people with much rarer things than Huntington's disease who need very similar care. And so it's just not really sustainable to have. Well, I think it's awesome. And I have worked directly with the couple of nursing home units that are Huntington's disease specific in the country. I think the nearest one to us is New Jersey, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that's great. On the other hand, increasing the capacity of places to generally to take on Huntington's disease. We just placed a patient after a really long search with a facility in North Carolina. I don't think they had Huntington's disease patients before, but they have a lot of experience with neuropsychiatric disorders, with cognitive disorders, and with progressive disorders. And they were just happy as clamps to take this. I think by the time we placed her, she was in her early 40s. Person who just needed a lot. And she came for her first visit after moving. Her parents are both in their late 70s, early 80s now, and they were just delighted that she is so happy, and she's in North Carolina and not New Jersey. They can go visit her easily. And she came with 2 of the staff, brought her to her clinic visit, and she looked awesome. It looked like they had dyed her hair. She had her nails done. She was smiling. And the staff had lots of questions about all these activities that they like to do with people, and that how engaged she was. You really want to get into activities, but they wanted to see, do we have ideas for how to make activities more feasible, or when to call an occupational therapist. And I just thought, well, this is a win for everybody, because we're going to call these nice people up the next time I have somebody in this age range who has similar symptoms and needs a placement in North Carolina, so that they can stay connected to their family more easily. Now I can call these guys up.
That is so amazing. I love that.
I think for me, it's less about building more. It's all Huntington's disease units, and more about just increasing the capacity and the comfort and the knowledge base for the places that are around, which admittedly are by themselves not big enough anyway.
So, Dr. Testa, the next time that we have you on here, uh, I just got sent Bird Simulator, a video game where players control a bird, often with the goal of destroying humanity or reclaiming their territory. So, next time we will have you destroying humanity as a bird.
You know, that sounds kind of fantastic. And oh, can I re-roll? No, I don't think I can. Oh, yes, I can. Let me do that.
Nice.
So then I want, what do I want? So that means I have 2 grains and a fish, and I want a bear after all. I don't know why I bothered to do that. That was silly. No, I want a wormy. There we go. Okay, confirm. So I have plans. I plan to get that trumpeter swan on the board. And then, my barred owl is at it again.
Oh.
Ooh, and that's a pretty bird too, that ibis. Sorry, ibis. Haha. Okay.
Yes, Dr. Testa, burn the world. All right, so is this our last action? This is our last action. So,
No, I have 1 action. My thing says I have 1 action left this round.
So I
if you
think
start,
I need to get
1 action left. Okay. When my kid was about 7 or 8 was when we got our Wingspan, and the cover, the picture, the really striking picture on the box, and on the little token that shows you on the top of the screen who's the first player of the round, is what's it called? Oh my gosh, how am I gonna forget the name of this bird? It's such a striking bird. It's a flycatcher. I think it's the scissor-tailed flycatcher. It has this incredibly long forked tail. Really, really crazy. And then about a year after we got the game, we had this amazing opportunity to go with a bunch of friends to Costa Rica, going around with a couple naturalists and looking at birds and mammals and all these different ecosystems. Select more food. So check, and this one, confirm food. And yeah, the scissor-tailed flycatcher exists in Costa Rica, but it's considered like this primo bird to actually see. They're not very common. And we're all in the van and we're driving along, and all of a sudden the kid pipes up, "That's scissor-tailed flycatcher." And the naturalist who was driving the van like banged on the brakes. He's like, "Say it again." And she's like, we just passed this bird on the fence. And he backed the van up really slowly, just kept going. He's like, "Kid, you tell me when to stop." And she's like, "Oh, right here." And we all looked out the windows, and there it was. And he said, "How do you know what bird that is?" She said, "It's on the cover of Wingspan."
I think. Oh, so.
All right, we're in the next round. We're in the next round. Did that just happen to me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, I didn't activate my Pivo Greet. Oh no, that's right. I just put a burn on. Okay, so all right, I need so many things. What's our bonus thing this round?
It
Ooh,
is
eggs on birds in the wetlands.
Yep.
Okay. So how come my Python Green doesn't have any eggs on it anymore? That's weird. I had 4 eggs. Did I somehow expend the eggs without paying attention? All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to lay some eggs because I can't figure out what else to do. And I'm just going to put them both in the trumpeter swan because I can.
And because you laid an egg, I get to lay an egg.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Thank
Ooh!
you, cowboy.
When did you get that crow? Oh my gosh. That crow is like an egg generator.
It is. I've
An
been.
egg for free.
I needed something that had a bull nest because I didn't have anything yet that had a bull nest. So the Foster's Terran definitely helped me. But I think I'm also going to go ahead and draw some cards while I'm at it. Grab that. And we're going to grab that.
All right, well, I messed up in a previous turn because I didn't realize I could get any food that I wanted.
And then I'm going to discard that.
Drop in the tray, +1 remaining. Okay, I see where you're going.
And draw from deck. Fills my hand up very nicely.
All right. I'm gonna Foster's turn. You have more to do.
Then I get to draw another card
Uh-huh.
and discard. And then I can roll the 3 that aren't in the feeder, and if any are fish, I get to stash 1.
Yeah, this is where the ability to like actually think some moves ahead starts to build up. We're kind of, if you play more of a reactive game like I am, then then that might or might not work out as well. Uh-oh. I think you timed out again. It says must discard 1.
There we go. It was.
There we go. Okay.
I kept clicking the discard, and it wouldn't let me discard.
Yep. So now you have to confirm or undo. There we go. Yay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I have been very, very food wasteful, and I got the wrong food earlier. So I'm going to gain food. And hang on here. And really none of it's helpful. So get this. And then I don't think I can re-roll. Can I re-roll? Yes, and no, none of the things I need. Okay, that's one of these. Confirm. And then I can draw a card for my owl because I activated it. Ooh, the stilt. That's a classy bird too. Sorry, stilt. Okay, I am all set.
And I get to take something from the bird feeder.
You get a bird feeder because every time I eat a bird, you get food. So not only are you benefiting every time you do something, somehow you have set yourself up so you benefit every time I do something, which I have to say is quite annoying to my competitive nature.
For those, a bird in the hand, I say? Yes, I do say. You can ask the chat in here. When we play Magic the Gathering, I am very much a interactive person. So It's not just your turn, it's our turn, comrade. Let's see. What to do, what to do. Oh, do I have? I do have that. Thank goodness. And we have 5 actions left in this round, which means perfect timing because I can do a little shenanigan on my next turn.
Shenanigans.
I
Their new
played the
birds.
chimney swift, so next turn when I go to lay eggs, I can move this bird to the right of all other birds in a habitat. Or
So you can move it around.
Yep.
So that means you can
Play it for 1 egg, and then
play
move it around to
an
a
egg
2 egg
and then
spot.
move it if you want to, but you don't have to. You can choose to do it or not do it. Right?
Correct.
With any of these powers, you can choose to do it or not do it. So I am going to play a bird because I just think I should have all the owls ever. And I am going to expend extra food because I love my owls so much. The second time I've done this, being very flagrant with the food. You can tell that I'm 30 years into my career instead of a starving graduate student anymore, or an undergraduate. I used to eat the discarded pieces of other people's lunch at work.
Oh, goodness. Ooh, the burrowing
I was the
owl.
person, in diner, like I was the, are you going to eat that person? Okay, now this is great because now when I start getting serious about laying eggs, then I got my burrowing owl working for me, and I can get to it.
See, I learned how to butcher meat so that I could buy the big hunks of meat and then break them down and get like 10 steaks for half the price.
Yep, here you go. Also, beans, much cheaper than meat. Well, I did Russian beans for a while. But now, don't. Now I'm 30 years into my career and I have full-time salary and I'm extremely, extremely fortunate. So I'm just going to use 3 pieces of food for my owls, even though if I had the right food, it would only be 2.
I think, do I want to? No, I will. I will move it over to my wetlands.
Ooh, fascinating. So then the next time you draw cards, you can get 3 and then move it again.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a nice bird. I've used that bird before.
It is.
Okay. I am going to lay eggs. And I'm going to just put 2 eggs on here because I can, and he's in the wetlands.
Oh.
Dun, dun.
Oh, is that what you would call a Freudian slip frog?
And
The Freudian slip. Are you going to eat that person? Where the quotation is after the word person.
roll the dice not in the bird feeder. So, oop, how's it going to let me do this?
And I get to lay my eggs.
You get to lay an egg, but then I want to know, like, I should get to roll those dice in the bird feeder, right? The whole point here. Burrowing owl's power will automatically activate. Well, I laid eggs. This game is ripping me off, man.
Oh, you got a mice.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yay! Rodent. And I have another rodent eater for my rodentologist.
Which I'm going to go grab me a wormy worm. Because that is a kill action. And since you rolled a mouse for your kill action, I got to grab another from the bird feeder. I have a good amount of eggs too. We both have 4 eggs in the wetlands.
That's good. And I now have 3 rodent eaters and 2 birds with kill power. So
if I play,
I'm happy with that. But I think I need more.
So So let's go ahead and play this here. So my purple Martin, when I activate it, I can tuck a card from my hand behind this bird, and when I do, I can draw a card. So next turn, when I move my birds over, when I draw my cards and move my birds over, I can activate them all.
Cool. I'm just gonna lay some eggs. Firm or undo.
Yep, and now I get to lay an egg on my Foster's Terran.
All right, and then at some point, my burrowing owl will be automatically activated.
It's having me refresh the thing again because an unexpected arrow. There we go.
Okay, there we go. And it's moved.
So
And
now I'm going to go ahead and draw some cards. Is there
hang on, did my burrowing owl roll the dice? I'm so confused.
It did.
I'm just gonna trust that it did it.
So I'm going to draw all from deck this time. Ooh, I got the Mourning Dove. I got the Savannah Sparrow and the common yellow throat. And now I can use my Chimney Swift to my eggs. I can draw a card. Got the Ring-billed Guile. I can roll all of the dice in the feeder. And I can discard.
So many things going on. I just get to sit here. So I don't have anything with those nice pink bands.
Oh, okay. So, Dr. Testa, we have a hydrate, which means whatever you have next to you for your drink, you must take a drink.
I have to confess right now, I have nothing next to me, but I can fix that. So my kitchen sink clogged up Tuesday, and I thought I had fixed it late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, but apparently I haven't. So I have almost a week's worth of dishes all over my kitchen.
Oh, goodness.
And I felt it despair when I first walked in there, like, I can't pour a drink. But I'm getting one of my dirty cups. Don't worry, there is another sink in this house. So now that I've given up and called the plumber and they're going to come on Monday, possibly tomorrow morning, I'm going to be carrying dishes one by one to a different sink. So,
You have your
now,
final action left in your round.
all right, I am going to lay more eggs because I can. Because I have 2 more spots here. And this here dream. I don't understand where the original 4 eggs went, but I decided I don't care. And then I should automatically have the burrowing owl do its thing.
Yep. And now I get to lay an egg on my Chimney Swift.
So once again, no rodents. This is the thing with the like roll the stuff. You may or may not actually get anything.
I have hit it every time. Oh, and now I get to re-roll the food.
Oh, yep.
And I think next round I'm gonna need some worms. And I'm going to move my Chimney Swift over.
Oh yeah, because now you're gonna want extra food or extra eggs. You're gonna want extra something.
Yep, I'm going to draw more cards. Oh.
This is the way to do it, stacking all the different goodnesses.
Oh no. I think I made a mistake.
Nope, foster turn. It's chunking through all your things. You've built up quite a list of activities.
I accidentally clicked the wrong item.
Mm,
And
no,
okay.
there's no going back.
There's no going back.
Yeah, these things happen.
Okay, so I'll draw
Yours
one
says
from the
foster turn, may draw one and discard one at the end of the turn.
Yep, I'll draw. Oh, one of my
All right.
favorite birds too.
You have
The
so many birds.
bobolink. Yes. Have a giant hand.
You have a hand of 9. You have 9 birds. Oh my god, you have birds and food. I need to like figure something out.
There we go. On to our final round.
All right, so what's our thing? This one. This is eggs and something.
Eggs in round nests.
Round nests. I don't think I'm gonna have any round nests, so I'm just gonna ignore that. That's what happens sometimes. I don't have star nests either. Okay, sure, what else? So let's see, who's up here? Oh, a snipe. Is that a snipe? No, it's a woodcock. American woodcock. Fascinating. And ooh, going two play. I'm always drawn to the expensive birds too. I have very bougie bird tastes. When activated.
Playing my common yellow throat.
Ooh, that's a nice one. We have some in the woods around where I live now. The warblers are definitely migrating through. It's just so lovely. I don't know if you guys are into uh bird related apps besides Wingspan, but there's a free app called Merlin that's through the Cornell, ornithology group. And it's basically, you turn on the mic
Hey,
and you hold it in the air and it tells you what birds are out there.
what's going on, Rip Pull Repeat? Thanks for hopping on in. Rip Pull
So I
Repeat
strongly
has
recommend Merlin.
uh so Chaotic, who's been in the chat, and Rip Pull Repeat, they've both actually done streams with us before, playing Magic the Gathering with us.
Oh wow, cool.
Yes. So, Dr. Testa, I have another question prepared for you. Are you ready?
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna draw bird cards while we're thinking about this.
How well
Uh,
do you think Huntington's is portrayed in TV or movies? Do you have any favorites or flops?
ooh, um, okay. So definitely Huntington disease is a thing out there in TVs and movies. Um, I think that um in a good way, I think that it just presents so many ethical and moral and just regular choices about life conundrums that I think writers find it to be a great I don't want to say like plot point, but just a way to like really imbue a character with something that's big that they can explore. But my confession is that when I'm streaming stuff, I want to like relax. And um, usually if there's stuff that's like a medical drama, I'm not as into it. It's like off the clock. um, and um, and so every now and then Huntington's disease, crops up in like crime things like, oh, the Huntington's disease made him do it. I don't like that. Because I
Didn't
think it just
Wasn't that
criminalizes
something on Law and
crazies.
Order SVU?
I can't remember if it was which one it was on. So I'm not a fan of that, but I also haven't really seen. I know a couple of people who love what is the House, the medical drama? There was a
Yes.
character. Um,
It was one of
I
the
forget
other
if she was living
doctors.
at risk. Yeah, I forget if she was living at risk or living mildly symptomatic, but um, I know people who thought that portrayal was nice, somebody trying to figure out like um uh what they're doing um with their life and with their work life and everything. Okay, hang on. I got to decide like which of these birds to dump.
You know,
Um,
Eric, as you're going through your turn, um, Erica actually makes a good point. On one of our other chats, we had Chaotic Master, Rip Pull Repeat, and Inkvale. We all were having a conversation of burnout in everyday life, but also in relative to Huntington's disease and the journey of a Huntington's patient. And I'm sure you've seen your fair share of burnout when it comes to patients themselves.
mhm. Yeah, definitely. Okay, and I can discard one egg to draw one more card. Okay. Um, draw from deck. What the heck?
Yes.
One egg.
So Inkvale is she is a hairstylist for her everyday job, and she says she does not watch any hair content after she gets off work.
That makes sense. Although if you haven't seen Chris Rock's documentary on Black Hair in America, it is amazing.
It is hilarious.
It's amazing. And having lived in Atlanta to see that contest portrayed, oh yeah.
He
Okay, which piece of
he makes a lot of jokes throughout that too. That are
yeah.
just like
Keeps the fun going.
hyper pinpointed.
What do I want?
You know what's funny? So I got my degree in music education, and I'm going to be teaching English next year and starting an after school choir.
Wow.
But most of like my social media stuff, other than Magic the Gathering and Huntington stuff, is other music teachers and
Oh, okay.
music stuff. And then my one of my friends and I, we play in a band at the community college, and it's just like I really just said, "Oh, work all the time? Sure."
All
There's a lot of
right.
reasons why I don't sleep, Erica. So, and honestly, half the time I blame it on the ADHD because
Mm,
I will, like 100%, I will just go down the dopamine rabbit hole.
hmm This is why presetting your sleep hygiene things is so important. Like, I don't know, you know, the voice of Kermit the Frog coming out of your speakers going, "It's time to get ready for bed." Whatever it is that can kind of shake you out. Let me
Yeah,
see. I have 4 actions left this round. Oh my gosh.
you
Ah,
you made
insanity.
a comment of Kermit the Frog, and all I could think of is, why are there so many songs
Oh,
over rainbows, and what's on the other side? I
so
I
good.
remember watching that with my mom when I was little, just Kermit the Frog hanging out on a log.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Frog Man, I know, I know you feel called out, but that that's like one of the songs I remember the most but the other one just where my so I don't know if you remember my talk. My mother had Huntington's disease, and she passed in 2021. But one of the things we used to do every day when she would take me to preschool is we would listen to the name of the song is slipping right now. It's from the 1980s.
Okay, what else do I want that I don't have? Is there any way I'm actually going to get another bird on here? Probably not.
Oh, it
I
was
have oops.
uh, is this the right one? I think I found it. I want to make sure I get the right one. Yeah, Pat Benatar's Heartbreaker. That was like one of the big ones. And I mind you, I would at 3 years old, I was belting that song out in the car like I lived through it.
That's hilarious. Three actions. Oh my god. This is usually the place where I'm like, oh, I know my next 6 actions. No, wait, only 3 actions. Okay, one of my fun podcasts that I like listening to is Pop Culture Happy Hour, and they had this whole like, who is your favorite Muppet episode, and they had like pre-voting, and then they had to confess their favorite Muppets, and then who do they think, which Muppet are they most like? Oh, it was so good. People got into it. It's tough. I think it depends on my mood where I'm most into Muppet wise.
Ooh, I got a Franklin's goalie or a Franklin's goal.
Very nice. All right, I so many possibilities, but I have
Oh,
run out
Erica,
options.
you don't know the half of it. Like my mom taught me the soul of the 80s, and I knew that love was a battlefield, and that man was a heartbreaker. I remember we watched 13 going on 30 like there was no tomorrow. 16 candles were on every cake. And
13 going
I'm
on
sorry,
30.
but there's no club like the Breakfast Club.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I still have my VHS movies over here, and like one of my favorite ones that I have over here is To Wong Fu. Thank you for everything. Did you ever watch that one, Doctor Testa?
Hang on, I'm confused.
Uh,
2 birds with 1 egg, 1 remaining. What? What just happened? I'm confused.
so
It said I
for
wanted to play a
those of you
bird.
who haven't seen it, this is To Wong Fu. Thank you for everything. Love, Julie Newmar.
That's
And
a
it
great movie.
has Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John. I cannot say his Leguizamo. I cannot say his last name, but hilarious. Yes, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. I did watch that. Um, I still have my original Star Wars trilogy on VHS because there's no better way to watch Star Wars than on VHS.
Oh, I see what's happening. Firm food costs. I had to pay an egg to get my bird up. I was confused
the
about that.
red-shouldered hawk.
It's another rodent eater. Scrambling with my remaining things to do.
So let's see. We have 2 actions left this game. So what do I? So I need. What food do I have? Oh no.
I just did the same thing.
I didn't realize I only had 2 fish. Well, I guess we're going to.
This is how I ended up spending 3 foods on 2 different birds, and I need 2 foods.
You know what? I haven't maxed out any of my things yet, so we're going to go ahead and play my ring bill goal.
Wow, because you can use 2 of any foods.
Yep.
Oh, smart. Smart. All right, I am also gonna play a bird. And I think there's only one that I can do.
I'm surprised
Right?
you're not
I
trying
only
to
have
hunt
2
for
pieces of food.
more food. Because don't you
Yeah.
have... Yeah, you have your... you can get your tucks with your 2 other birds for extra points.
Yeah, but I only have 2 actions left. So if I play a bird and lay eggs, I'm going to get more points.
Well, it's only... Well, here's the thing. It's for birds that have an egg. It's not the number of the eggs.
Got it. Well, that means I
you
know
do
what I
have
want.
1 star bird.
So this is gonna, yeah, this is gonna cost me another egg. Firm food costs. Ta-da. All right, I have an idea. And then I know what I want to do for my last move. I'm going to keep it easy for the last action.
There we go. Yeah. So let's see what to do. What to do. You know what? I might as well just lay eggs for those egg points.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I know what happened to all of my Piebald Grebe initial eggs. I had to keep paying eggs to put more birds on the board.
Yep.
As per the columns. And then you're going to do all these things, right? Because you've got all these fun things you can do.
Yeah, I'm going to tuck my Franklin's goal.
All right, laying eggs. Laying eggs!
Yep, and when you lay egg, I'll be able to lay another egg.
I know, this is very aggravating, but again, there's not much I can do about it.
Eggs for days!
I'm going to give my burrowing owl an extra egg. And then confirm. And then that should activate rolling the dice. And I can tuck a card, I think. Yes. You may tuck 1 card from your hand. Doesn't matter anymore because I can tuck anybody. Because I can't possibly use them. Bye. And again, no rodents. Oh my lord.
All right, they we are they're putting up the points.
Rodentologist. I love rodents. The sad thing is that rats are awesome.
84 points.
It was the rodentologist that got me over the edge.
I think you might have gotten it, Dr. Testa. There you go. Dr. Testa is our winner.
Woo! Bonuses.
Woo woo.
Owls. The owls made it for me. That's exciting.
So I'm looking at all the stats. So it kept track of our what they call thinking time. Dr. Testa has 1 hour and 6 minutes of thinking time. I have 36 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah, this is kind of the number of times my family members have been like, move already or we'll do it for you. Yeah. I don't like to call it overthinking. I like to call it, contemplating.
Well, Dr. Testa, I'm going to get in one more question for you tonight.
Go for it.
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is a fun one.
I'm mildly concerned now.
So, at the very bottom of the list, we had, if I can remember every Pokemon, but not where I put my keys, is that a brain upgrade or a glitch?
I think, it tells you that your brain has made some very actionable choices about what's truly important. There's all kinds of ways to locate your car keys these days. Why remember that?
So, Dr. Testa, is there anything that you would like to tell our viewers that we might not have covered, or anything you just want to be able to say to them?
I just think it's so, personally for me, has been such a privilege and an amazing journey. Like, you just don't understand the kind of life journey you're launching on when you're in your late teens. And to look back and realize that my bosses were part of the gene hunting team. I went to Maracaibo with the team a couple years at least before the gene was found, interacting with those families. That I think is some of the most impressive people I've ever met. And then all the way through to the most recent meeting, I went to the HT Therapeutics development in March, talking about all of these new mechanisms for new therapies that we didn't even know those mechanisms existed even 5 years ago. Just the whole arc has been so amazing to see something. And I remember earlier you asked me about people. I will never ever forget that trip to Venezuela. I went with Jack Penny, who's now deceased, and his Elliot, at the time, his 13-year-old daughter, who's now MD PhD Huntington's diseaseologist, and I met this gorgeous young woman, with really rare green eyes, living in a one-room tiny dirt floor shack with her husband and family members. And the expression of cleanliness, like you could eat off the floor, you could have eaten off that dirt floor. I mean, that place was immaculate. And her husband was just like, I really want the team to tell me what they think. And she was pulled one of the physicians aside and begged for birth control access because they already had 3 kids and she didn't know that they could take care of more. But at the same time, they were very tight together and and their kids were running around, thriving, and they had a whole row. The research team took Polaroids. The people there took 2 Polaroids, so I got to do the pictures for a few days. I took her picture, take 2 pictures, and you keep one for the files, and you hand one to the participant. You went into that tiny home, and the only decoration on the walls was a little row of each year's photo of her and the kids. And that, I mean, those were the only photos their family was going to have. And when we got home, I looked up her research record number, and she was positive for the mutation. And I just always wondered what happened to her and to her family. But she was really just really showing up for her family and showing up every year for that research study. And her kids were all wearing their only nice church outfit for research days because it was so important to her.
That's so
And
sweet.
that was 2 years before the gene was found. And I just consider it this incredible privilege to have had people tell me about their lives and share their homes and share their hopes and fears about their family and about their lives living at risk for this disease. And it's just so, so amazing. And I am so excited to hopefully see, another 25, 30 years of progress. I can't even imagine what this point in the future things are going to look like based on the last 20, 30 years.
Well, Dr. Testa, we just want to thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. Everyone in chat, please put hearts up for Dr. Testa sharing, everything
Bye.
that she's done and all the information she's shared tonight, and for kicking my butt in Wingspan.
Woohoo!
But like I said, Dr. Testa, you're going to have to come back and play Bird Simulator so you can take on
Oh, yeah.
humanity as a bird.
Whoa. I'm looking
Now,
forward to that one.
guys, remember, this month is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month. That means we have more interviews happening throughout the rest of this month. So, Erica, will you remind us what our next interview is and when it's scheduled? I believe it's Monday, if I'm not mistaken, but I happen to do that a lot. Uh, Dr. Testa, I wish you could. Are you able to see the chat at all? Did we send you the link so that you could watch?
I don't know. I think I'm in the stream thing, and I saw the chat at the beginning.
Yeah. So, okay, Erica did confirm. So, the next story time is going to be with Shelby Lentz uh, on Monday, May 12th. Oh, that's right. Erica said you didn't want any distractions.
Oh, that's true, because I knew that I would already be struggling with my competitive zeal, trying to like engage with questions and slaughter a lot of tiny birds for my owls.
Yeah, so next Monday, Shelby Lentz is Monday, May 12th, 7 p.m. EST. And then Friday the 16th, we'll be back playing a game of. We will be playing a game of Magic the Gathering with uh, names. I am terrible at names. Like it is. It's that out of sight, out of mind. Yes, Shelby is going to be playing. We're going to be playing Uno, and then
Uno, that's
yes,
a game.
and then Linza, we are going to be playing Magic the Gathering. And Chaotic, if you're still here in chat, Chaotic is going to be joining us as well as her husband. and she's going to be telling us her HD story. And then Shelby Lentz is I always get it mixed up whether or not it's CEO or president, one of the two, just as important, of Champions for HD. And she's going to be talking about everything that she does, all, the story of her and her sister, the story of Champions for HD, and the story of her music career and how she has funneled Huntington's into that. So if you guys are interested and you want to hear more of these stories, make sure you hop on, hang out with us, interact, ask questions, and it's going to be a wonderful time. So again, thank you, Dr. Testa, for being here tonight, and thank you everyone for hanging out and watching. Have a